Hey, everybody, how are you doing? I'm coming to you live from my working shop. Not the new one that I'm building. This is the one that I'm renting until I get. Can everybody hear me? Because I had to get a webcam and have that all set up, and just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall down. I just saw somebody here. I thought you left me. I'm so happy to see you, Ainsley. Ainsley, I know, but you let me do that. Let me pull this up. All right. So I only have one monitor, so I got to do the whole. I better put top live chat. What do I got here? Live chat. So I got to do this so that I can read the chat when I'm not. If you guys don't have one of these tripods, oh my gosh, Greg, Rocky Mountain Resale, bought me this like 2 years ago. It's called a Zenvo. These things, I loved it so much. I bought another one. I keep one in my car. I have one at home. I have this. This is the one I keep in my car. And then I bought T, my friend T, Auctions for You. I bought her one because she was having problems with hers. Anyhow, so I do this, then it won't be so obvious that I'm looking over at the screen. All right, let's go back up here to the top. Doug, can't wait, having some major farm girl withdrawal. I know, I'm so sorry about last week, you guys. But my fence is almost done and it is so beautiful. I can't even just tell you. I need to put a video out. I need to put a bunch of videos out. I have about 15 or 20 videos in draft form. And then we've got Mr. Jeremy. Hello. Kathy Wiseman, how are you? Jeremy Ginn. As long as the hits are really big hits, it makes up for the misses. Okay. John, how are you? Rad Relics. You guys aren't subscribed. Any of you guys, okay. Any of you guys that have YouTube channels, drop your links. That's why you're blue. Well, and other reasons too. Oh, John and Jeremy were talking. Boatman. Why aren't you coming up here? Hello? Ruthie, how are you? Hello. Been waiting all day. Aw. That's so nice. I'm so glad you're here. If you guys don't follow my friend that I've known for a long time, she mostly only posts on Instagram, and she posts beautiful pictures of the sunset and the countryside. What else we got here? Oh, I'm so glad you can hear and see. We have my buddy Jenny from Spruced and Gussie's. Gussied. I always do that. I always mess that last word up. I love you more. Jenny has a show, if you guys are into mid-century modern and that kind of stuff, vintage, on Mondays at 9 a.m. on her YouTube channel. So feel free to pop that in the link. Green Mosaic Resale April. Hi, how are you? Oh, Ethel's here. Hi, Ethel, how are you? She got stuck with me. You poor people that know me well enough that I call you in the middle of the day just out of the heck of it, and you're silly enough to answer. I feel sorry for you, but I love you. I went to an estate sale and I bought, should I tell on myself, Ethel? Tell me. Dave, hi, how are you? Dave and Enoch, his perfect person. I know, don't go there yet. It's just slightly organized. That's all it is. It's organized. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. I have a problem and now you guys can see it. Oh, should I show even more? I don't know how far this will reach. This is kind of cool, actually. That may look organized. That's actually my shipping table over there. That's the mess. Oop. That's the mess that came in this weekend that I'm working on right now. Sandra P, how are you? How are you? Who else have I missed? Stop here. Amy, how are you? You guys follow Amy on Instagram. She has some amazing things that she makes. Mr. Hemstone, Harry, how are you? Sandy is here. Hi, Sandy. Siggy, how are you? Siggy, where do you live? Aren't you overseas? You're from the deep south in Florida. Okay. Your heritage is overseas. Let's see. Wood Fam Resale. Are you guys new or have you been here? Wood Fam Resales. Let me look. Nope, you've been here before. Thank you for coming back. Let's see. Do it. Okay, so was it Friday? No, it's Thursday. Spill the tea. I'm going to spill the tea. Hang on, let me get down here to the bottom of the chat real quick. Make sure I didn't. Yes, you've been here before. I saw that. All right. So last weekend was, I'm going to kind of use a bad word, hellacious. That's I don't know how bad that is. That's about as bad as I'm going to get. And I actually was going to be very good, knock on wood, and not go to any sales. And there was a sale just about, I don't know, 5 minutes from my house, and they didn't have any pictures, and I was intrigued, so I went. And these people, two sisters, had been liquidating their parents, their dad and stepmom's estate for 2 years. And it didn't really look like they had a ton of stuff, but they did. But off to the side of the garage, they had a whole, like an area to park a small car. Let me get rid of, yes, go check her out. And it had a sign, dolls, half off. I'm not a huge doll person, but I'm also, okay. I'm not stupid. Some people may argue with that, but anyway, so I started looking up dolls. The first two that I looked up, they decided to keep because they were going to keep some. They didn't really think anybody was going to purchase any of them, or very few. They wanted to keep this one, but I got them to let me have it, and this is where it started. Any of you guys ever seen this? Okay, I don't know. There we go. Vintage Bobby May Sway and Swing. It's worth about $100 and some. It's and this is the great part. They looked everything up while they were taking care of their stepmom and putting things away over the years. They looked everything up. Bobby May, let's see if it's going to focus. I don't know how to. This is a new camera for me, so I don't know how to get it to focus on me. Okay, there we go. Bobby May Swing and Sway, inspired by Sammy Kane, $65. This is actually going, it's antique. That swings. It's like one of the original Bobble dolls. Nope, I did not have this on a thrift battle. I just have only had this for less than a week. Isn't she cute? I think she's cute. I think this one's cute. she's so it began. 2G floats. I ended up, you just uploaded a doll video. I will put the link in the chat, Dave. So let's see if I can do this without making you guys sick. I can't go too far, but it does have some reach. That box. That box. That box. That box. All three of those black boxes over there. The brown box. Everything from that white box. Everything from that white box over. That's all doll clothing. And then all that stuff up there. I think there's 200 dolls altogether. Most of them are... Hey, Glenn, how are you? Most of them are... I don't think I have anything here that's under $40. And so after I made a deal with them to buy all of the baby clothes, doll clothes for $30, because even though they say doll clothes, there's actually a bunch of vintage baby clothes. And how do I know? Because there's a baby dress in there that's very similar to the one that I wore when I was a baby, because that's the only piece of baby clothing that I have. Hi, Bill. How are you? Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be dolled up for sure. So I said to them, how much for everything? And I thought they were gonna have you guys ever done that? You're doing all the links you know people should have. Thank you so much. Jeremy, I'm doing it wrong. And oh, Jeremy, would you put your link in for your Instagram, please? Please, I really, really think that you guys should see what he and his wife get. His Instagram is he doesn't have a lot of followers, and he should be having more followers. Backpack Baby, how are you? And then Doug, where'd you go, Doug? I didn't get the clown, and there aren't any other clowns, so don't worry about that, because I won't do that to you. Doug does not like clowns. Anyway, he's here somewhere. Those two guys, hi, Miss Lori, will drop any links. I don't YouTube, and you're not consistent. Yeah, it's all right. You don't have to be consistent. Yeah, no clowns. There was one clown that was actually worth 120, but they decided to keep it, which is fine. They wanted to keep a few to use to turn into scary Halloween dolls and stuff like that. Anyway, so I ended up walking out of there with those, and she made me take all the records. She had and a huge book of a huge box of doll books, like a legal size box of all the doll books, which they also comped. And they were pretty close on their comps. I mean, they didn't put like what they were selling for. Let's see, that kind of blurred up. They looked up what they were selling for, and what the people had priced them for. They were very nice, very good. What people had priced them for, what they were selling for, and they went down a few dollars. They tried to go in the middle, so they were priced well. A lot of their stuff, because it had been several years since they looked it up, was worth way more than what they had priced it at. Anyway, so I found this binder there. Vintage paper dolls and clothes. I paid $20 for this. Ethel and I got this thing too. Women's. You guys don't. We're not even on topic. Anyway, that's what I did last weekend. those of you that are just coming in, you might want to go another 5 minutes. But if you guys don't know who the Dion quintuplets are, check them out. They're very popular. So this whole book is vintage and they're not repros. This one might be. These ones are, but these ones in here are not. So it's all vintage paper dolls. That's what happened last week on Thursday. On Friday, I went back. On Friday, I also went to a mid-century modern estate sale that was amazing. I'm very organized, Harry. I can't stand myself. And by the way, we might as well talk about this before we get into the ceramics. I know I've talked to a lot of people about shipping and shipping fragile items, and that I don't use packing peanuts, and that I don't use a lot of bubble wrap. I do use bubble wrap. I get it free. See those black garbage bags up there? When I buy bubble wrap, I buy it from Bubble Boy, American Bubble Boy. But my buddy owns a hot rod car parts store, and he gets all of his stainless steel and aluminum parts in these bubble bags, and he has his guys save me all the bubble wrap bags. And you know, just because they're this size doesn't mean anything, because they tear and then you can have a sheet. But so I get those for free. Sometimes he even drops them off. Do you have an affiliate, ABB affiliate? I have no affiliate links to share. I'm unaffiliated with everybody because I can't figure out how to do the affiliate marketing program. So, you know, one of these years I'll get it. Isn't it nice? You pick up dolls if they're from clean outs. Almost free. Yep. So I figure that I got a lot of different things at this one, but the second one we went just because it was close by, and it was there were no female things in it. This guy was a bachelor. And so I should probably do hauls. He worked for Pepsi, and the whole driveway, my son and grandson went in the house and were done and left, and I was still in the driveway. I filled my Jeep up with free stuff, and it was all Pepsi, dead stock, not worn clothing. But I bought some stuff too. So I bought a bunch of vintage 60s and 70s men's clothes, and they're amazing. I've been washing them for the last 3 days. Anyhow, Tanya, because I can talk. You picked up a Ginny doll from the 50s and a Madame Alexander doll from the 50s, both still in the box. Nice. Someday next week, I'm hoping to get, yes, a lot of those are from Canada, one of my favorite places. But you know, this doll right here is all cloth, and it is from the city of Chiang Mai, Thailand. It's a tuka doll. It's all cloth. It's all handmade. So there's some odd ones. Jenny, this one has you written all over it just for the dress. Look at that. Look at that. And she's got little shorts that match. So anyway, I'm excited to get these listed. They're going to be fairly easy to list because they already did all the research on them. So that will make it really nice. Hey, Boatman. Was that the Stuck in History house? No. The Stuck in History house was the estate sale that Justin and I went to on Friday morning. Oh my gosh, I sent out the listing to a bunch of people because got to turn the fan on. Can you guys hear much of the noise outside? I hope not. I tried to I shut the door and everything, but it's still, I think they've got a, if you have a following and you want to rep ABB, the online form is easy to use up here. Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. So ceramics. This is probably going to be a 3, 4, or 5 part series. So today we are going to talk about slip molded ceramics. How many of, sorry, I have to sit down. I've been doing way too much. YouTube is rolling out YouTube handles. If you haven't picked one, your YouTube channel. Okay, I saw that on the, I'm going to see if I can get this to go down a little further without turning the light on so that I can see you guys better. Now you can see my mess. I saw that YouTube handles thing. Shoot. Stuck in Time is what it was. Stuck in Time. It was from the 60s, 70s. I bought a painting, but it's over there. I can't get to it right now because the door is shut. YouTube sent out a message. Go to your YouTube studio. I think it should show in there. You tried to pick at Harry Tornado, but it wouldn't let you. Did you try Haley Tornado? Or Harry Tornado Jr.? I'm just trying to help you out here. Yeah, it's in your, go look in your YouTube studio. So let's see. Oh, I don't want to close all those. Okay, so let's talk for a little bit. You're sourcing, and you run across things, and I see this all the time. I'm gonna use my buddy here. And you come across this thing and you're like, that's freaking cool. I'm going to buy that. And you turn it over and look at it and it says, it's got a smiley face. And it says, what does it say? I made it. I should know what it says, right? It says, Scoochie. And it says 1991. And my name on it. You don't know who I am. And you're like, oh, okay. It's nothing. Right? Your son needs to pick his then. Yes. Yes. So this would be, he needs some help with his eyes. I actually made this for my mom, but I stole it from her. This is a mold made by Cicada Molds. Can you guys see that? Is it too close? Boy, I'm going to have to get used to this camera. SCIOTO Molds. That's the name of the company that made the mold that the ceramic slip was poured into, okay? And this is the jack-o'-lantern. And you will see him in many different forms. We're going to look him up a little bit later. This one is made to put a light in, and then the light will shine out of his mouth, out of his nose, because the nose holes will cut out, and out of his eyes. And these, these cutouts are done when when it's green, when it's a greenware piece. And we're going to talk about all of that. Okay. So a lot of people won't buy these. Those of us that know will, because it's not really got a company name on it. It's got my name on it. And then all the ones that I made for my kids are like Love Mom and To Ryan, and they have a name in them. You guys see these all the time. I know you do. I know he's got some stories to tell, Jenny. He's got some stories to tell. And the reason a lot of people won't pick these up is because they have that stuff on the bottom of them. Well, that's because it's a hobbyist piece. Any piece of ceramic is going to be a hobbyist piece. And there are many different forms of ceramics, right? You have stoneware, you have porcelain, you have china, you have bone china, you have, we could just go on. And we are. But today, on this show tonight, we're just going to talk about slip poured ceramics. So this is slip poured because the clay comes in a liquid form, and it is poured into a plaster mold. So he's blowing in the wind. What's that? What's the one where they whistle? The scary movie where he's whistling. Hi, Cookies Girl. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Dean. How are you? AKA Jan's babe, Mr. Dean Kruger. What's the scary movie where they whistle? That's what he's doing. Anyway, so some of these, can you see the thickness on here? Right here. Some of these molds will be very thick and very heavy, and some of them won't be as thick and as heavy. And that all just depends on how long they let the slip sit inside the mold after they poured it in. Eight's a pure gem. Whomever suggested sending her the affiliate form, please do. That was Jeremy. I just need to get done with the house so that I can sit down and get a bunch of stuff fixed. And that would be that, doing the affiliate links and all of that stuff. So how many of you, let's do a one, have ever made a hobbyist piece? How many of you guys have made something from greenware? Like you cleaned it. You're a zero. You are not. You cleaned it. You fired it. You cleaned it. You wrote stuff on the bottom, and then you painted it and whatnot. How many of you guys have done that? John has. Patty has. Did it in school. Yep. Sometimes I use no one's links. Oh, I'm no one. I'm someone too. I miss you so much. You have. Backpack Baby has. Me. Ruthie has. Sandy. I'm not surprised by the people that are answering this. I watch a lot of people. I watch a lot of you guys. Any of you that have a channel, I probably watch you. If I'm subscribed to you, I watch you. You have to forgive me if I don't put comments in the comment section, because 9 times out of 10, I have these things in my ears and I have my phone in my pocket and I'm doing something. I do my best to hit the like button. You created your own. That's cool too. And there's ways to do that. And you only did school ceramics and one precast piece. Dave made an ashtray in the 3rd grade and still have it. My son made me an ashtray in the, I want to say middle school. So much you say is over my head. You can ask questions and you can always message me on Instagram. I will answer. I'm pretty good about that. Now this thing's out of focus. How do we fix that? Okay, sometime when you come over here, Missy girl, we'll go do ceramics. So when my kids were little, Ryan is 31. He was born in 1991. I worked at, let's see, I feel like I was pregnant with him when I started working at the hospital. I worked at the nursing home that my grandmother was in a little town called Woodland. And I met this gal and we became very good friends. And she had a nephew. I don't think she ever got married. She still works at the hospital. I got her a job there because she was just a good person and a hard worker. I met her, and I kind of knew her family because they were from our area, but I mean, I knew the name, right? It's kind of how it is when you're in small town areas and farming, and you kind of just know everybody. Anyway, her mom had, and I believe still does, as a matter of fact, I got to get a hold of her and see, because if she does, I'm going to start going up there once a week, because I deserve to have a hobby, and I'm not doing landscaping anymore. And there are some pieces that I want to make for myself, aka a Christmas tree, a ceramic Christmas tree. And you guys know, Harry, didn't you just get one here not too long ago, a little ceramic Christmas tree? I know I saw it. I know I saw that you got one. And anybody that is in the vintage collecting knows that some of us made Christmas trees one year in ceramics class in high school. It was the Holland mold. Yes, it was. It was the Holland mold. I was waiting for that one. But Holland isn't the only one that made the ceramic Christmas trees. And there are other mold companies out there that made, and obviously we all know they come in different sizes, right? Bigger, smaller, wider, different shapes. There's some that look like a puffy quilt. I don't know. Anyway, my friend's mother had a ceramic shop, and that's what she did. And on 2 days a week, she was open. And I spent a lot of time up there. As a matter of fact, she was so impressed with my ability to paint that I ended up getting to paint for her. And she sold my stuff at all of the little, what do you call those? The Christmas bazaars and Halloween bazaars. That was my favorite, Halloween. I did so many different Halloween things. Anyway, you like everything that they came. Yeah, like everything. Yep, all different sizes. Your mom took you once a week in the late 70s. You made mostly Christmas things, including a tree, Rudolph Snowman. Yeah, I have. Your mom made over 200 trees in Portland. Wow, Ruth, that's a lot. I don't think I made 200 trees, but I didn't do just trees. So I painted for her, and then everything that I wanted to do for me, I got to do free. It worked out really good because I made Easter mugs, these rabbit Easter mugs for all of my nieces and nephews, and all the grandkids got one with their name on it. And then they all got a pumpkin mug, and that was like their Halloween trick or treat that year. It was full. Same with Easter, and a Santa mug, all those Santa mugs that you guys see everybody selling. I made those. I did it all. And I did it in glazes, and I did it in acrylics. This guy is done in acrylics. So let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. And most of them still have them. Hi, Tina Lou. How are you? Is Michelle in here? Michelle, how are you, sweetheart? You have a cowboy lamp from them? Oh boy, that's worth some money. So if you can find somebody that's been doing ceramics for a long time, or that has inherited their mother or grandmother's ceramic mold stash that used to do ceramics for a long time, you can be in a great amount of money, because some of those molds, they don't, just like everything gets retired, right? Or they'll make a new mold, and it's just not quite the same. It's kind of like, what candy bar was it? I made so much money off of these stupid candy bars. Butterfingers. Butterfingers candy bars changed their recipe like 4 or 5 years ago, and all they did, this cracks me up. Ah, that's so nice. They changed the type of oil from hydrogenated to a healthier oil, if there is one, oil, and it changed the flavor enough that the true Butterfingers collectors were up in arms so bad they literally got petitions together and petitioned, is it Nestle that makes, whatever company it is, to change back to the old formula. Well, just like the Tic Tac gum that I sell, I happened to get in on that one, and I bought a lot of the old style Butterfingers and sold them. I sold out. Yep, they don't taste the same. They honestly do not. If you liked Butterfingers, just go get a is it the Fifth Avenue? There's one very similar to it. Yeah, they literally don't. Anyway, so they will update things and make them better in their mind. You know, everybody's doing it, right? eBay just did it with, I shouldn't say just, they've been changing people over for a while to the new listing tool. And some people like it and some people don't, but it's just one of those things. Whether you like it or not, it is. Complaining about stuff isn't going to get you anywhere because it's not going to go away. It's bigger than us. Just figure it out and move along. I'm not the new Nestle's Crunch. I honestly do not eat candy. So it's been that long, but yeah. So same happens. What do you got here? Sending you and your brother. Ah. So it happens with everything, right? They change the style of the Jeeps. They whatever, clothing isn't the same as yes, I'm disturbed. That's what my shirt says right here. Where? Right here. Disturbed. They have the best version of the Sound of Silence. They do. I agree with you, Bill, but it's not going to happen. And continuing to make videos and people continue. I watched somebody I listened because I couldn't get to, I think I was in here working and I was over on the other side on a ladder moving stuff. And they whined for 20 minutes about a return on some stupid thing that they lost out on. And I was just like, are we above that by now? Are we above that? Do we hear Walmart and Nordstrom's and Fred Meyer's and Kroger's and all of the other, do we hear them whine for 20 minutes every time somebody steals something from them? No, it's part of doing business. Is it frustrating as all get out? But it's part of doing business. And to do a 16 or 20 minute video on something like that, I came like that close to unsubscribing from them. I'm horrible. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but you know, if you want to talk about it and get past it. They do have the best version. They do. So, did you guys, next week, I think we're going to talk about, I'm blurry again. There we go. Next week, we're going to talk about, I guess I better keep my hands down. Next week, hi Gail, how are you? Welcome in. Next week, we're going to talk about, I don't know. Wow, it just went out of my head. Jeremy, help me out. Chalkware. Next week, we're going to talk about chalkware, and there's a lot to talk about chalkware. There's a lot for you guys. There's a lot to learn and a lot to know about chalkware. But this week, we're talking about slip poured ceramics. So anything that you see that's a mold like this, and there's a lot of the companies, a lot of the things you see. I'm going to have to figure out this. Somebody else come in that I missed. Gary, how are you? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Westside Gary's in the house. Not as cool as him. I don't have my hat on today, Gary, so I can't, dang it. I don't have a hat in here, period. Never going to be as cool as Gary. Anyway. Yes, having to tap the mold. So what does a mold look like? For those of you that don't know, let me share my screen because we know I have to talk my way through this. And let's let's just go to, let's go here. This is one of my favorite websites. I don't have any of these websites in the description. I will try to remember to put them in there, but I'm not going to make you guys any promises. This website is Atlantic Molds. Atlantic Molds, and then you have Atlantic Mold Company. Actually, it's Indiana Ceramic Supply is this particular website. Let's go here. This is the name of it, Indiana Ceramic Supply. And you can get pretty much anything you want. They sell only ceramic molds, colors, and literature, and ship only to addresses within the United States. So, new molds from many manufacturers, collars, Donna's Collars. Donna is a mold company, and ceramic books and mold catalogs, and apparently they have some good news to share. But what we want to do, let's go over here and look at molds. So Mold Search, they offer over 16,600 different molds from 59 different companies. Sorry, I'm just not. Thank you, Janet. I love you and miss you too. Thank you for the super chat. I almost missed that. Thank you. Thank you. Elizabeth, how are you? How are you? All right. Okay. You guys chat amongst yourself, because I'm gonna look at this and tell you about this. So 16,600 different molds, which to a lot of people may not seem like anything. To me, it doesn't. It seems like nothing. And to some of you, it may be overwhelming. But I think that if you went through here and pulled some of these up, you would be amazed, like simply amazed. I don't think they have Holland Molds in here, because Holland Mold Company is pretty picky about who has their molds, I believe. So let's just go in here to, do they have Suncrest, Sheet, Clay Magic? Let's go to Casco. And then you can go down here, and if you know the mold number, then it's super easy, right? You can go down here and look at it. Let's just look at this one right here. Say you want the mold for this cross, and it's going to cost you $4.80. That's tiny. That's got to be tiny. I want to show you a picture of a mold, books and catalogs. Let's see if they've got. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's go right here. You can buy and sell ceramic molds on eBay. Did you guys know that? In case you didn't know that. Here is what a ceramic mold looks like. And this is a baby dinosaur. This is what a mold looks like when it's put together. Let's open this one up. Maybe this will be the best one. Right here in this hole. When you get your mold, it's going to have, especially if it's a new one, it'll have a it'll either have one of these rubber bands on it right here. That's a strap. Or it'll have a fiberglass strap, and you use these straps and rubber bands to hold the molds together. This is a Arnell ceramic slip mold, a Hote, which looks like a Buddha. He's got a hairy chest. That's what it looks like, and his hands are separate. All right, let's go back, because we were looking at this one. So you would have a rubber band here. You would have a rubber band here, and you might have, depending on the size of it, here and here. The rubber bands are really only used for the smaller molds. And then here's your pour hole where you would pour the slip into. And the one thing about these, when you're pouring the slip in, is you want to do it all in one motion. You don't want to have a pitcher and run out and have to switch to another pitcher or whatever, because it will cause a line in your greenware, which will then cause a line in your finished mold. Anyway, so, and then as these sit over, you know, most people that do these, especially if they have a shop, they'll do 5 or 6 or 30 or 40 different molds at one time. And then you have a pitcher, like my friend's mom had a big pouring table that was huge. And so she, and it has dowels on it and it holds it. The dowels are there for a reason, so that when, you know, and she had a gun basically with a little motor on it. It looked like the gas nozzle that you put into your car. This is very similar to that. And then it came out at whatever rate she wanted to. So she never had that problem, but you always had a pitcher, because when they're done, they're going to have a little settling. They're going to have, what is this one? Can we guess it by what it says? What does it say it is? Biscuits and gravy dish. Huh. All right. Anyway, you would let it sit, and these molds are made out of plaster. And the plaster absorbs the, do this so I can see what you guys are talking about. Plaster absorbs the water from the slip, which is liquid. It's thick. It's thick, kind of like, it's not as thick as, I'm trying to think what kind of consistency I could say. I don't know. Kind of like, I don't know. It really depends on which brand you're using, but it's a liquidy, it's a liquid consistency. It's fair. I would say a very thick cream. He's doing great, Gary. Thank you. His dad's home, so he won't be here today. His dad's home from LA for good, we're hoping. And so it's kind of, I feel like I don't have any responsibilities. I'm getting a lot of stuff, a little thinner than pancake mix. Thanks, Mike. That's a good comparison. Anyway, so then that sits for a little bit and you watch it as you're filling your other ones. Yeah, it's been amazing having his dad home. As you're filling your other ones, you want to go back and look and see, because you will see that it starts to settle and you fill it up. And then you want to let it sit. You're going to let it sit for 15, 20, 30 minutes. And you don't want, the more you do it, the better, the more you know, and the bigger the molds and the size of the mold and the shape of the mold and how many pieces are inside the mold, blah, blah, blah. It's one of those things that you learn to do, you know, and so on and so forth. Yep, you can buy it in pre-measured bags, that you can. The longer that you leave the slip in the mold, the thicker the wall will be, the heavier the piece will be. So, you know, it's not something that you want to pour and run to town and come back. That's not a good idea. That's what I get when I let incompetent. Oh, these things do happen. So then you will take your mold and you'll turn it. You don't turn it upside down, and you want to turn it slow, right? Because you're letting that liquid come out, and it's still liquid except for what's coated on the inside. And eventually you'll turn it right side up, blah, blah, blah. It's a long story. There's videos out there you guys can watch on it. If you're, you know, it's a good thing to know, especially if these are things that you like to pick up and purchase, and also if they're things that you like to do. So anyway, then you're going to let it sit, and you're going to let it dry out for however long. you know, whatever size the piece is. Your husband's car worked on by idiots and they screwed up more than they fixed. Ooh, that's not good at all. So this one's a little heavier because more than likely when she was pouring this, she was pouring a whole bunch of different molds. That's fine. I like the fact that this is heavy. I would say this weighs 3 pounds for sure. Now I painted this with acrylics and then I dry brushed it. And can you see how it's got some darker brown in the cracks? Just barely. You can really see down on the bottom. You can see some of the brown. Oh, that's quite the. Anyway, and then I will put you could put just one of those tea lights in there if you wanted to. You put the LED lights that flash in there. So this is just one of the pieces that I had out. I only have it out because I stole it from my mom. All of the cords on everything I made her got chewed up by mice. And no, you don't brush these ones that are done in acrylics. Here you can really see the dry paint, the dry brushing up here. These ones that are done in acrylic paints are then just sprayed with a spray sealer, and you can use different. You can use a glossy sealer, you can use a satin sealer, so you can make it however glossy you want. And then, you know, the same with the Christmas trees. I personally prefer the Christmas trees done in the acrylic paint because you can do so not faster than you can with the fired glazes. You can do so much more. You can dry brush, you can do a base color of green, and you can add different colors of brown. You can do all of this if you're going to fire it and do it with a glaze, right? So once you have that greenware piece, then you're going to clean it. You're going to take your little tools and you're going to decide right when it comes out of the mold is when you want to do these cutouts. Any cutouts. As soon as you get it out of the mold, that's when you're going to do your cutouts, because that's when it's softest. Then you let it sit. Get on the phone and lay the smack down, Elizabeth. Yep. Then you let it sit and dry out some more. And then when it almost looks like it could be a fired piece, but it's not. That's when you're going to take your tools, X-Acto knives, all that stuff, your brushes, your sponges, and you're going to clean it and you're going to make it all smooth, etch in whatever you want to write, or, you know, if you want to make designs and stuff like that, that's when you do that. Then if you're going to use glazes, you're going to use underglazes. So all of this, like his eyeballs or anything that I wanted to do, if I had glazed this, it would have taken me 3 or 4 weeks longer, because first you order it, then they pour it. She pours it. I was there a lot. Sometimes I was there on the days that she wasn't even open because I would help her. Then it gets poured, then it sits. You go up there and you clean it. And then the next week, by the time she comes back the next week, unless she's was loading the kiln, she had 3 kilns. Unless she was loading the kiln that day, you might have it on Thursday. I think she was open Tuesdays and Thursdays. You might have it on Thursdays. The bisque piece. The bisque piece is the piece that you can buy out. You'll find them at Michael's, and I'm not going to say the HB word because I don't shop there. Any of the craft stores, or even just any of the local ceramic shops, you'll find a bisque piece, which is already fired. You'll find tubs of them. You'll find them at the holiday bazaars. They just bring tubs of the bisque pieces so that you can take them home and paint them however you want. And when you take them home and paint them, you're going to paint them with the acrylic glazes, and it'll have this type of a look to it, as compared to, I don't even know if I have a piece that I can get to right now. I do. I see one, but hang on. Oh, hey, perfect. Here we go. The This is a pumpkin pie dish, but you can make this. This is some international trading company, but you can make these. It's just a mold, right? This is glazed. It's shiny. It's got the crackling going on. Why do they crackle like that? From the moisture absorption from the ceramic inside is expanding and contracting from the humidity of the oven, or say it's a teapot or a teacup. That it has nothing to do with it being bad. That's just what it does. The ceramic itself, the clay, absorbs water and contracts it with the humidity. You won't see any crackling on the cover because this doesn't go in the oven. I mean, you could put it in the oven, right? But this has been glazed, and it's been glazed with food safe glaze. Does that make sense? Here's another hobbyist piece. I guess I have more than I thought. All of this stuff over here is listed. It's for sale. This is, let's see if I can read it. Alberta molds, 1951. That's when the mold was made. It's not necessarily when this is made. And these are transfers. All of these little flowers on here are just little transfers. After it was fired, after it was bisque, and actually this red might be an underglaze. Nope, it's not. And yeah, it probably is because reds are hard to do. So his face and his hat right there, those were done while it was still green. It got cleaned, and those things were all done. And then when it came out, it got glazed. And this snow around his hat, it's called snow. It's a type of glaze, would get put on. And then all of these transfers would go on, and that they just go in a little pie plate full of water, and you cut them out before, and then you use tweezers and you put them on wherever the heck you want them, right? Like there's one there that says Merry Christmas right on his butt, and then you would put glaze over it one more time. So there you go. This could absolutely have been done in this same in acrylics. And if you look for this, I don't know what it's called. I listed it. That's all I know. That's enough, isn't it? Good night, Dave. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. It's kind of my breakables shelf. I don't have the big stuff so much, so if I had to wash it and clean it, it's bagged. You see a lot of this stuff is bagged. That way. There you go. Especially anything that's a satin glass. Satin glass is hard to keep clean. The art of ceramics has made a comeback. All right, so you have this is just for, keep in mind, this is just for ceramic slip molds. Ceramic slip molds. That's the liquid ceramic, not the clay that you're rolling and doing. So everything is a ceramic. Not everything is porcelain. Not everything is stoneware. Does that make sense? If you listen to the historians talk, and I think on my video that I did on Asian stuff, I put the link for Peter Combs' website in. I listen to him all the time. I have learned so much from him. It is just amazing. That guy is like a walking encyclopedia. So I challenge you guys to start looking at these pieces that are different and odd and whatever you want to call them. They sell for a lot of money. This guy right here, he sells for $100, and I've seen him poured with terracotta. I've seen him done with no cutouts and just a plain color glaze, right? There's so many different things that you can do to these if you have access to a shop that will let you come in and work with them. And you can either work with them while they're pouring, or you can order it how you can order the greenware that would be before it's ever fired, right? After it's come out of the mold, they like to let it sit for 3 to 4 days before you do anything with it, because it's very fragile. Yep. If I had a place to put a kiln, I'd have one right now, because somebody offered me one. I had nowhere to put it. It just made me want to cry, to tell you the honest truth. So I will get one sooner or later, and a wheel to do hand thrown ceramics. We're going to talk about that in another video. A lot of times you will see, and I'm going to show you here in a minute, on Craigslist or one house that I went to look at to purchase, which would have been purchased with all of the contents in it. She did ceramics. She had 2 sheds full of molds, everything in it. And I was just like, the kids ended up fighting over it long enough that I don't know if the place ever got sold. Pottery is the clay hand sculpted things. No, not true. That's just a different kind of, it's all falls under the veil of ceramics. I have some pottery right here, but I'm not showing it to you because that's not what we're talking about today. If it has chips, it's chalkware. Not true. This gets chips too. This gets chips too. Oh, you guys. That right behind me is restaurant ware. I paid $50 a piece for these, and I sell them frequently, one at a time, because they're heavy. It is Homer Laughlin. Ever eaten off of a plate like this? Because you will see them in the restaurants. And that is ceramic or stoneware. Stoneware, ceramic, redware, bone china, porcelain. It all falls under ceramics. And then you go to the different kind of clay that it's made out of, and the firing methods. There's so many different kinds of firing methods. It's not even funny. There's methods where they use horsehair, and I mean, it's just amazing. They use sawdust kilns. It's really, really, really something to get into if that's what you like, and you have a lot of that kind of stuff in your area to source, knowing what's a glaze, knowing the different kind of pottery, like, and where it came from, and that kind of stuff can be it's 99% of the battle. Because if you can walk into a sale and go bing, 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 I know what that is and what I want them, you're far ahead of the other people that are taking pictures and looking them up to see what they are, right? So hopefully this series will help you guys understand the difference between all of the different types of ceramics that are out there. Today we're talking about slip molded ceramics. There's a difference. You can also do, you could use porcelain slip and do this guy in porcelain, because porcelain comes in a liquid slip also. And as a matter of fact, that's what a lot of porcelain is. All of those plates are done in molds, every freaking one of them. So, I mean, if you look at the hand blown glass, this is hand blown, but it's hand blown into a mold. This is a mold. And if you look, I don't know how well I can show you. Let's see if I go slow, maybe it'll do it. This is Fenton. How far away am I going to have to? If you look right there, it's not going to come in. There's a seam right there, all the way down. Because this glass ware piece, even though it's blown, hand blown, it is hand blown into a mold. And that's why it has a seam on it. Does that help? Not all hand blown stuff is done freehand. So, and not all ceramic stuff is done freehand. This is a stoneware. This was done with clay. It was thrown on a potter's wheel. This cup was made, and then this handle was applied by hand. This handle was made. They rolled it out, they cut it, they formed it, and then they applied it. You will see a lot of glass pieces that were freehand blown, but they will have an applied handle. That's what that means. That handle was applied. It wasn't part of the blowing procedure. This handle wasn't part of the piece being on the wheel. And you can tell when you see these pieces that have applied pieces that they were not made in a mold. Now there are pieces of slip molded pottery that will come out. As a matter of fact, Dom, Primetime Treasure Hunter, his last estate sale video, he was showing some cherubs or something, I can't remember, and he literally showed their arms and how they had been broken and not repaired well. Well, they were broken where they had been seamed on when they were made, because that mold was probably the body, and then it had the arms, and the arms were attached. When you have a mold that's pieces like that, then when you take it out of the mold, you take a brush, a paintbrush, and you get a little bit of the wet slip and you attach those, and so sometimes if you don't have any idea, Hazel Atlas, yep. If you don't have any idea as to how these things are made, then maybe to you it looks like this. I don't know how bad this is getting blurry to you guys. Is that maybe to you an untrained eye, or not even an untrained eye, but just not having the knowledge, because you don't, then you would think, oh, that item's broken. Now, maybe those arms did fall off at another point in time, but they fell off right on the seams. I could tell by looking at it, and they did get glued back on. And you know what? Those pieces were done with acrylic paint. And so I would have bought them in a heartbeat, because somebody out there, a hobbyist, would have died to have had those, because they just would have repainted them and made them look perfect. So don't walk away from a piece because the eye is chipped. It would take me 10 seconds to fix this. Open up my bottle of paint. I guess it's open up my bottle of paint. I'm probably going to change these eyes. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. And that's the nice thing about acrylic paints too. You can, anytime you've decided that you don't like this, you can just add or take away or do whatever you want. I mean, like, I should have done something with these lips. I should have made him a different, I don't know. I'm going to have to fix him up. He's crying for help. Terry, I got Terry in trouble. Terry was torturing me this weekend. She tortured me so badly. I tortured her back. You're horrible and I love you. You guys like the blue eyes? All right, I'll leave them alone. If you guys aren't following Terry from Mindful Recycle, then what are you waiting for? Because she's a hoot. She lives just across, I don't know, if there's no traffic, it'd probably take me about 30 minutes to get to where she lives. But if there's no electricity, don't tell on me. I probably should have bought that, and then I'd be in the clear for all the money I spent this weekend. But I didn't. Terry sent me these pictures. We were on our way out to this guy's estate sale, the bachelor estate sale. She sent me these pictures, and she said, I'm at the Buddhist temple, and they have all of this ephemera. It's right up your alley, and they're just boxes and boxes, and she's sending me these pictures. And I was hyperventilating, honestly, to tell you the truth. And I said, all right, we're going to go check this place out. And the main reason I went there was because the pictures that they had up were of Carhartt work pants and stuff like that. Well, Justin just came home from LA. He left a lot of his clothes. And so I was like, let's go look at the clothes and see, if there's something your size or whatever. Oh my God, you guys, I got the most amazing 60s men's bell-bottom pants. I can't even just tell you. Anyway, so Terry's still sending me these things. Are you coming? And I said, you know what? I said, I'm at this estate sale. And I said, oh my God. So I started taking pictures of all the electronics in the garage. And I sent them to her and I said, who's meaner, you or me? And she goes, address, please. I'm 20 minutes out. So, yep. Did you get it listed yet? I went back on Monday and they loaded me back up again. Yep. I love Disturbed. I have a Disturbed playlist on Pandora. How dare you not send me? I haven't sent pictures of them to anybody. I didn't just get those. I'm going to do a video, but I decided to wash everything. Oh my gosh. I went back and they had even more stuff out on the side. I filled my Jeep up 4 times. Plus I bought all the art in the house. Somebody stop me. Terry got a new in the box Nintendo is listed and she's already had no. I sent her, I didn't send her a picture of that, but it was on one of the tables. And I told her, I said, they didn't have a price on it. I said, I almost took it and set it under one of the tables with my stuff. But I kind of figured people were being really cheap and kind of nasty. It was a son and daughter doing their father's estate. And I helped them with pricing a lot of stuff. And they were like, where were you 3 days ago? We needed you. And I go, well, anyway, so they gave me you guys, it's ridiculous the amount of stuff I got. I spent $600 there the last day because I bought all the art. But when I say I bought all the art, my Jeep is full. It's all framed. And most of the pieces I paid $15 for, and they'll sell for $300, $400, $500. And I looked them up with them. They knew. They had looked them up. I'm that person. I'm that person that will tell on myself. I am that person that will show them what they have and give them their options when it's something like that. I went through, I don't have them. They're at the house and I'm in storage. I do have one thing I can show. I got a bunch of these. This is a 1960s pearl snap satin Avante West Western shirt. And her dad wore it. You should see the other ones. Not lying. I guess the main reason I spent $600 was because I bought his Harley leather jacket and the Harley chaps and another pair of chaps and his biker vest and then the art. I know, isn't that great? So I got now you got me all messed up, Terry. I got you should put a link in for your store so people can go see your so people can go shop your store. A pair of off-white Levi's bell-bottom jeans, and then I found in the closet a camel-colored velour Levi's shirt that I know for a fact that he had to have worn with it. I could make a whole outfit out of some of the stuff that I have, and maybe I will just for pictures for you guys. And then they gave me all of his ties and scarves and stuff. I have a bag of them over here. So, but needless to say, let's get back on topic because you guys are I got distracted. It doesn't take much. So I need a drink of water. Heck yeah, Western wear. But I had to wash everything because it had been in the house had been kind of closed up. So, oh, thank you, Jeremy. You guys go check out. Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. Let me share my screen. Wait a minute. Let me share my screen here. Terry, you still hanging out here? Let's go check this out. Mindful recycle eBay stuff. There you are. You're right there. She also has a YouTube channel. This is Terry's eBay store. Where is it? Newly listed. There you go. She got this. She got this. Isn't that nice? This thing is mint. And that's the kind of person I am. I could have bought this. I could have listed it. I could have sold it. But I knew that Terry liked this kind of stuff. Hi, Mia. How are you? There you go. So I have met up with Terry many times, and we will continue to meet up because she is an amazing person. And I'm sure you guys have people like that in your neck of the woods that you do. Maybe you can give Jan the ties for the... No, I'm not giving Jan the ties. She can buy them from me. These ties aren't ties that I would sell. These are you're distracting me. We'll do that. I will do a live for you guys, okay? I'll do a live. The Kuji sweater is nice. I don't have one. That's not a Kuji sweater. I did look through all the sweaters. Oh, did Terry have one? Terry got some really nice sweaters there too. Yes, she did. I'll let Terry tell you what she paid for it. I know what she paid for it, but I'll let her tell you if she wants to tell you. That's not my business. But she got a good price. We both thought so, or she wouldn't have bought it. So let's go back to the molds. Let me share my stream here. You have the sweaters that you bought in the background while I'm talking on my last video. Oh, put the link in. Somebody dropped Terry's link to her last video. Horrible. I got to go watch that when I'm done with this now. All right. So you can buy the molds on eBay. You can buy all kinds of molds. I got to be careful because when I was looking through here earlier, there was some that I probably didn't want, probably wouldn't be good for ratings. So if you come across molds, this one right here is a vintage ceramic slip casting mold of a mushroom ashtray. I feel like a mushroom. And this one right here is a nude woman kneeling. And this one, here we go. Here is a 10-inch Christmas tree and base. Holland. Wow, I can't believe it sold for that. What did it sell for? There you go. So that gives you an idea. These molds, these trees are a lot of work. Every little piece right here on the side has to be cleaned. Every little tiny piece. And then all of those little holes that hold your birds or lights or whatever, those have to be hand drilled. Thank you, John. They have to be hand drilled. So, there's a reason that these things are cost so much money. Okay. So speaking of that, this is the American Ceramic Supply Company, and they're very similar to these guys right here, ICS, Indiana Ceramic Supply Company, American Ceramic Supply Company. Anything that you could think of that you wanted that has anything to do with ceramics, they have it. They have the kilns, they have the pottery wheels, they have glass, they have pottery equipment, brushes, tools, clays and slips, paints, glazes, underglazes, bisque. If you just want to buy the paint, you want to buy a bisque piece. You have discontinued Duncan bisque. Okay. What about Mako bisque? Okay. You just want to buy a bisque piece. Here you go. You want to buy just this piece right here and paint it yourself. There you go. And you go right here. You can go, what's new? Cups and molds. I was looking to see if they just had Christmas in the garden. Animals. Why isn't that? What's new? Let's just look at that. Here's their. So this is what you get. You're going to get this piece, and you can buy a case of 55 of them. Now, keep in mind, if you're going to use these, you need to have somewhere to fire them, because if you're going to make these mugs for you to drink out of, they have to be done in a glaze, and a glaze requires a kiln. Okay. Then you have, these are cute little animals. These can be done. These, as a matter of fact, in this picture, they are done in acrylics. So Ruthie, how come I'm just now seeing that you aren't blue, and you are now? Anyway, so if you want to go and buy something, Mako bisque and stoneware too. So here you go. Keep in mind, these also need to be fired in glazes. But if you wanted to have your own dishes done in whatever colors and whatever styles you want, here you go. You can come and buy these for $11 per piece. Doesn't that make you wonder why people sell these mugs that they found that are vintage, and they're selling them for $10, $15, $20? That literally pisses me off. I'm sorry. If you have ever done this and you know what you have to go through, if you're just selling a stupid Starbucks mug or I don't know, something, these stoneware mugs and the ones that are hand thrown and stuff like that, they take a lot of time. There's a lot of time and effort that goes into this stuff. And then look at completed with Mako stoneware glazes, all of this stuff. You can do all of this yourself. You don't have to have a kiln. You can buy the underglazes. You can get them glazed. Somebody in your neck of the woods, lots of times a community college or even the local high school, if you contact them, will have a kiln and will be happy to fire your things for you, either free or for a low. What do you think about the air dry clay? Well, it's fun to mess with. Yeah. All kinds of stuff. But, I mean, my son loves this style of bowl. He would rather have a bowl than a plate. And so, a setting, boy, I can talk. 8 of these, or what do they sell them in per case? So 12, right? 12 of these are $54, and you could decorate them however you wanted to. I mean, what kind of a present would that be if you wanted to give somebody something specifically? I don't do anything for anybody unless I ask them anymore. I don't buy for my kids. I don't buy for my mom or anybody else unless I ask what they think of them. I may do it on the sly, but I just literally, so many people, I love this mug right here. So many people are becoming more minimalistic, and I myself am. I'm getting rid of a lot of things, selling them, giving away, doing whatever. And if you can make something and have it the exact colors you want and whatever, Jeremy, oh, that's hilarious. Then why not? This is another mold company, Donna's Molds, and she has her own line of paint, and I think she has stuff that's more I don't know, based towards children. Well, not all children, but what's the word I want? Kitschy? Is that the word? Kitschy? Here. Oh, we got to get away from this page. Yeah, this stuff is more kitschy. So, and then here's the Cicada Mold. So that is what this is. That's the brand that this guy is. I'm probably saying it wrong. These are the different molds that she has available. I wonder, I don't know what mold he is and I can't read it. Anybody want a Rolly Hippo music? There you go. And the mold itself is going to be $19.50, and then your shipping on top of it, so it's one of those things that is out there. You lived just over the railroad tracks. Sorry, I can't tell you how much of this stuff I painted and painted and painted. I painted this. Look at, so here we go. This is the Holland Mold Company, okay? Why is this not opening up? Maybe it's just the front. Here's a set of 3 of the Christmas trees. Here is a fairy lamp. You can purchase these molds. The molds and the pieces pictured on this website, as well as the website itself, are the sole ownership of Holland Molds. So they don't let anybody else. Let's look and see. Holland Molds Halloween. Tried to pull this up earlier, and it didn't want to load the Halloween. So let's go here. It'll go in a minute. You prefer handmade mugs? I do too. All right. It's just going to cycle through up there. All of these. This is the mold number 2748. This is, yeah, it's not a clickable website. This is like a quilted Christmas tree, but yet it's not. And that's what it looks like. So when I tell you guys there's so many different styles, here's all their trees, all the different sizes, and the baskets, and I can't tell you how many sets of these Santa and Mrs. Claus I did. Something that I noticed was really popular this summer was the, I wonder why, price list, Ocean State molds. Wonder why it doesn't, this brand right here, Ceramic Chrome discontinued molds coming soon. Of course. The Holland mold story, if you want to read about it, you see this. Somebody was asking me about what they were called yesterday, the hobbyist pieces, and I could not spit it out to save my life. And at 11:30 last night, I messaged her and I go, don't kill me. I know you're sleeping, but I had to send this because I just now thought about it. So here's, I don't think their website's working too swell today, would be my guess, because a lot of stuff. So Holland Mold Shop. Bye, Glenn. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great day tomorrow. You flooded last year. Oh, you're talking about up there. And then let's go back here to the Mako Pottery Company. Let's go back here because I want to show you guys. Let's see. Paint Your Own Pottery Studios, finished ware producers. They have a home-based hobbyist. So they're going to show you all the different cool things that you want. Here you go. Here's your sign. Everybody that I have seen that has picked up one of those Christmas trees and put it down because it didn't have all of these little doomahickeys in it. Guess what? You can just go online and order them. You can order them like this. You can order them in small sizes and big sizes and doves and stars and poinsettias and you name it. They have it. And if this site right here doesn't have it, somebody else does. I was going to decorating accessories. That might be what they're under. Pens, easels, nightlight hardware. If you need, oh wow, it's just going into everything. If you need the plugs, if you need the, oh man, are you still here, Gary? Here's some infrared safety glasses. That did not open up. Did I click on the wrong thing? Sponges, silk sponges, stoppers, magnets, banding wheels, mold straps, designer rubber mats. It's nightlight hardware. That is not nightlight hardware. Well, it's got to be in here somewhere. So if you need the cords and the little, all that little stuff, nightlight with clip, maybe that's what they're talking about. Okay, maybe their idea. Fired images. I was looking for these are for piggy banks, the little rubber stoppers. Christmas stars. Here we go. There you go. There's your lighting kit, a tree light kit. all your stars, all your everything that they carry, and they're cheap. Choose from red and blue crystals, medium stars, large Christmas tree, light kits right here, $10.50, or your price, $9.24. So all of these different items right here that you can use to apply gold. So you have a piece that had gold on it and it's wearing off. Maybe it's your piece. Maybe you want to sell it. Maybe you want to give it away. Maybe you just want to fix it for yourself. This right here was done in gold. So you would get this right here, and this little pen has a special tip on it, and you can redo your gold. You could do the same thing for your maybe you have a set of china that you love that's been well used, because people actually do use their china, and some of the pieces have some wear on the gold. You can fix that yourself. Yes, you can. Don't think that you can't, because you can, and you could just come right here and get all of that stuff. How dare them take your molds to what? Uh-oh. I'm missing out on something. Grandparents. Ooh. I believe I remember hearing you say something about that before. Hi, Nancy. How are you? Yep. I have seen quite a few estate sales with molds that they just couldn't get rid of. They literally couldn't get rid of, and that's what happened to them. And it's kind of heartbreaking, because some of those molds, a lot of them probably, they don't make anymore. That's where you're getting into some of these pieces. This mold is from the 1980s. Now, I know when I made this, because I dated it, that this mold itself, I believe, came out in 1987. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's when it came out. So, it's just like circa 1987, right? That's when the mold came out, but that's not when this was made. So who knows? Like, I could go to a ceramic shop today and order 10 Christmas trees. They'll all have Holland mold on the bottom of them. I could paint them however I wanted to, and I can list them on eBay. I don't have to put vintage. The mold itself would be vintage, but the tree itself would be brand new. How would you guys go about selling that? Would you sell it as brand new, or would you sell it as vintage, like new? Because I'll tell you right now, I would sell it as I would not put vintage. I would put a vintage mold in the description, poured from a vintage mold. But I would, and I don't know that I would put new, because there's a lot of people that are just going to go, well, how is that new, but it's poured from a vintage mold? How would you sell it? I would just sell it. I wouldn't even sell it as new. I would sell it as pre-owned. And before I did that, and I have been contemplating doing that too, because let's share this again. Let's open up a new tab. Let's go to eBay. Let's go. Look at the different trees they have. All right. This one is a napkin holder. There's a gazillion. Now what I'm going to do is and look at all the different heights. All right. Now what I'm going to do is go down here to solds, and this is why. I'm going to go here to priced highest price plus shipping. Now, I'm going to look at these and I'm going to say, this one right here from 1970, only because it was probably dated 1970 on the bottom, sold for $150. It's 22 inches. Look at how it's painted. This one right here actually looks to me like it's acrylic. Or the heck, oh, I forgot to push the see original listing. Unless it's just a really bad picture. No, this is done in acrylics, just like this one. So this is done in acrylic paint. That means that they had a bisque piece. They had the holes cut in it. They have the base, and they painted it in acrylics. You know what's cool about that? If you don't like that green paint, you can change that. Super easy. So I'm going to look at these ones that sold, the highest price plus shipping, right? And I'm going to take note of the mold and the size, and I'm going to continue to look at the colors. Here's white ones. These are the ones that people are wanting the most because you can see what they paid for them. This one is green with snow on it. They didn't even put that in the picture, that it's got snow on it. You could do that too, new old stock. That's a good idea. Or dead stock, except for it's not. It was brand new made. Look at this, you guys. That is a specific kind of paint that's called snow, and there are many different kinds of glazes that are called snow. And once it's fired, this is what it does. And that is cool. So if you wanted to make some money and you like to do arts and crafts and you want to do stuff like this, find the things that you like, go on eBay, make one for yourself and two to sell. The two that you sell are going to pay for the one you make for yourself, unless you're doing it because you're doing it for a profit, right? But if you're just a hobby seller, if you're not doing this for full time or whatever, but I'm telling you, to me, painting was something that was very calming. The kids weren't there. And even my kids, they would go with me sometimes, they painted. I took ornaments to kindergarten class. Everybody got to paint a Christmas ornament. I was that stupid don't take that personally, anybody. I was that stupid PTA mom that was in the PTA from kindergarten to 12th grade. That was me. I'm not that PTA grandma, I can tell you that. So let's look at see if I can spell this right. Let's see, let's go. Vintage. I wonder if anybody would even only time I'm quiet is when I'm typing. Look at, here you go. Same era as this. I can't believe these guys, they only got one bid, but look at these, you guys. These are amazing. Look at that witch. Vintage, rare, scary, ceramic Halloween pumpkin. Hell yeah. Look at that. That is amazing. Find somebody that has this mold. Find some of these. Look at, I did a couple of these too. See how they've done them in terracotta? This is actually poured terracotta. That's cool. And that is done in acrylic paints also. They may well have, it looks to me like they did the inside. They probably glazed the inside, and that's a smart thing to do too, especially if you want to put a candle inside it, which a lot of people did back when these were, they didn't always have those nice little cords or the little battery operated candles that we have now. This guy's cool. There's just nothing else to say about that. I love these guys. See how this is similar to my guy, same mold. See how they did his mouth and his lips and his teeth? I should have done that. My favorite one that I did, and I broke it, I had it out last year to show you guys when Lissa was helping me with the Let's Talk About It. And let's see if I can find it. Oh my gosh, the shelf in my office fell right on top into my big bin. I just about cried. I have all the pieces. I'm going to put it back together. See if that pulls it up. Oh man, it's similar to that one. I have this one. Am I sharing? Yes. Okay. I have this one. I've painted this one many times. This is also done in acrylics. And then once you get done painting your acrylic piece, you spray it. And then you take whatever color you want to dry brush with. Could be black, could be white, could be whatever. You could do 5 or 6 different colors. And you literally just get a little bit of paint on your brush and you wipe it off. And then you just go in, and all of these little details where it's brown around her eyes and stuff. It's also a really cool way for somebody who doesn't have a steady hand to be able to paint something and not have to be worried about it looking perfect, because you can use that dry brush method. See, this guy, if you just saw the mold of him, all of this would be filled in. All of this was cut out. You will see all of these different ones in different shapes. So let's go see if we can find, I don't remember. What's going on? It's got to be you, because I'm watching on my phone there to read the thing and I can see them. Similar, there's that same one. Man, I wish I could find it, because this thing was cool. All of these I've done all it. Look at, you keep seeing the same one over again. Why do they look different? Because that many different people got them and painted them. Byron Molds is what that one is. You don't see this one that I'm talking about very often, and that could be it. Oh, hang on a second. I know why. Because it's a vintage, which it is. There it is. Well, okay, this isn't the which one. This one right here. I broke it into about 25 pieces. I painted this for Justin. This thing is huge. I wonder if they have I painted this for Justin, and it had a little crack right here where the corncob pipe went in, but it was okay. And yep, it's in about 25 different pieces. This is also done in acrylics. I literally, here's the difference between this and acrylics and a very similar one done in glazes. I prefer on this stuff the acrylics. Also, look at the difference in taste. Here's this one. Here's this one. I believe I did my hat black. I can't remember. So that's the cool part. That's the cool part about hobbyist pieces. And 9 times out of 10, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to pay more for a hobbyist piece than I'm going to pay for a piece of Homer Laughlin that there are 25,000 of them out there at any given moment, because all of the restaurant chains use them. Now, that's where I got these from. I got them from a catering company that went out of business. But they're well sought after because they're expensive. They don't break. You literally have to throw them with all your might on the concrete to get them to break. That's how they're made. So you get a new blank mold and make a new one. You can, you sure can. But that one's special to me, and I will put it back together. And I don't need all the king's horses and all the king's men. Quality was on auto. Oh, there you go. Anyway, so you guys, I hope I taught you a little bit about ceramics, slip, molds. And, you know, there's other stuff in there. I'm sorry for any of you guys who are watching this and weren't interested in anybody that comes along and watches this, and I got distracted and we talked about other stuff, but that's kind of how it goes on my videos, unfortunately. So, well, fortunately for some and unfortunately for others. So next week we're going to talk about chalkware, and there's more than one kind of chalkware. I don't know. It almost, I posted, this thing is so cool. I should keep it. The other two I found, they said they were rams. Rams do not have tails like this. I was raised on a dairy farm. This is a Taurus Bowl. This is an odd kind of, sounds like resin, doesn't it? Sounds like maybe it's plastic. It's a really weird kind of paper mache, chalkware mix kind of stuff. This thing is cool. I should be keeping it for myself. If it was green with the blue, I probably would. If it was orange, you know, I absolutely would. But meanwhile, I did not wrap it up. Composite paper mache. Yes, Jeremy, thank you. So learning all of these, I see people do this all the time. I don't know what it is, and that's okay, because we can't all know what things are. And especially if you never had the ability to make these things or be around them. So that's why I like to do these videos. I know, but I don't want to. It's so freaking cool. I get to look at it every day. It's so cool. It's so me. The house that what the estate sale was at last Friday was this would have fit right in. This would have fit right in. So everybody has, there's a couple, there's probably more than a couple. There's some really good Facebook groups for ceramics. I joined one today. I should have been in it a long time ago. Thank you, Sandy. But if it's something that you're interested in learning about, you don't have to do you don't have to do the craft to want to learn, so that you have knowledge, so that when you're out there and when you do your listing, it's that much less of a rabbit hole to go down, right? If that makes sense. Because we all go down rabbit holes. For me, a rabbit hole is a good thing because I'm going to share it with you guys in a video sooner or later. That's just what I do, because I don't forget I have a photographic memory, and so it's just easier when I find something and it's that cool. It's like, oh wow, and then I can't stop, and then 2 hours later I end up getting the stupid thing listed, and then I have a video because I've learned enough to share with you guys on something that I think is important enough that there's enough of out there that we walk by. It's just like Courtney doing her videos where those of us that are members of her YouTube channel, she has different levels. Courtney, are you in here listening? If you are, drop somebody put Courtney Bolo Buddies in, please, Jeremy, since you're the one that's the fastest on the fly. Jeremy or Doug, who's going to get it? Who's going to get it first? Courtney Bolo Buddies, one of my very, very good friends. I love her to death. That's how I met Terry, Mindful Recycle, as a matter of fact, because Terry is also in Courtney's group. She has a great Facebook group. Terry and I both are moderators for that Facebook group. I think there's like 70,000 people in her Facebook group. There's some meanies, but we get rid of them on a regular basis. So Courtney has videos that come out every day almost, but her videos that I love all of her videos, but if I had to choose the ones that I love the most are the ones where the people, she has a post in her group that anybody can come in and put, if you come in on that particular post, a September bolo or your best August bolo, and she will feature that in a video. If you're a member, then she drops your YouTube or your eBay store, so on and so forth. And then she was doing them once. She's busy. She tries to do once a month where this is my bolo, and anybody that's at the higher level, I think it's $9.99 a month. That's what I am. I mean, I only am membership to a very, very, very few group. They're people I've known for a long time and I'm good friends with. And so for $9.99, and then we do supposed to be 60 seconds. You guys think that I could do a 60-second here's my bolo video? If any of you have seen any of her videos, here's my bolo videos, you will know the very first one that we did, I set a timer and it went off in the middle of what I was saying, and I literally stopped and I go, oh, there's my timer. Went over my time. Sorry, Courtney. And the last one that she did, my here's my bolo video was five minutes long because it was about, I had stuff to say. 10 minutes. It was 5 minutes and 23 seconds. And I felt so bad. But there you have it. It was on Scream Mask, vintage Scream Mask. Anyway, she's a wonderful person. If you guys don't know her or haven't spent any time watching some of her videos, I strongly suggest doing that. Now, if you need something to source and you can't get out, go check out T Auctions for You and Donatella Battolino. They are friends. One of them lives in South Carolina. One of them lives in Florida. And they go live every day on one or the other's channels. And they auction large lots of items off if you want to keep them for yourself. They sell them at reseller prices. Right now they're on a road trip, and they may still be doing auctioning right now. I researched the heck out of the Scream Masks, and I got way more than I should have because I did. But that's where it's at. That's where it's at. And now I know. And I have shared that info with a lot of people because I want them to know. There's a lot of info out there on a lot of stuff. And if you if you can spend the time and do it, and you can sink it down into a little bit and share it with everybody else and make it a little easier, why not? Why not? All right, you guys, I'm out of here. I hope to put a couple videos out this week. No promises, because who knows what's going on. My fence is almost done. It's amazing. Go check out Instagram. I do seem to be able to put more stuff out there because it's faster. I don't have to edit. I don't edit. I did put a little ditty out last night. When I got home from down here, the boys had put up Halloween decorations, and that was kind of cute. So I love you all. I appreciate everything, all the support you guys got. I'm like 3,100 subscribers. I never in my life would have ever assumed that I would be even monetized. As a matter of fact, go back in some of my older videos and you'll hear me talk about I'll never be monetized. I never thought I would ever have more than 300 or 400 people follow me. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I learn stuff from you guys all the time too. And next week, we are going to talk about chalkware. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. And I hope you find some cool stuff this weekend if you go outsourcing.